It's already part 9 of the Skyblock series. In this one, I'm hoping we may get looting free. I want to start doing the villager trading and get along with that kind of stuff. That's very exciting. Let's jump to in-game Bob. Look at this. This is so cool. So now that we have villagers and we officially have villagers breeding together, I'm thinking the next thing we want is maybe looting free. I'm not sure if there's any trades we can do to get redstone. I don't know if any villagers do that. I might have to have a quick look into that. In fact, let me do a quick look into that. You can get redstone from the clerics, which means we need blaze rods. The problem with blaze rods, I'm not sure we have a blaze spawner. I know we have a bit of a nether fortress in the nether. I don't know if there's a blaze group of blazes there. So let me have a look. I don't even think I'd be able to see it from here. We do actually have some fire resistance, which would help if that was the case. Is there a blaze spawner over there? I'm not sure. Do we bridge out to that? Well, we don't really need redstone right away. I'm kind of hoping for looting first. So to get looting, what we need to do is we need to make a lectern. I'm wondering how many, in fact, if you're watching, well, I don't know who I'd be talking to if you wasn't. Put down below some predictions of how many times it's going to take us to get looting free, rolling the trades. I'm hoping not too many. I don't know if I want to use this sugarcane to upgrade or not just yet, but maybe we use that to make the lectern for the initial farm. What am I looking for? Leather. So to do that, we need 3 books. Make 3 books. And then we need wood. And with the wood, we make the bookshelf. And with that, we make the lectern. Boom. We have a lectern. Right, let's chuck that away. So why am I still carrying around the fire resistance? There we go. So we have the animals over there. I actually got a great comment from someone on the previous video, which I'm actually going to put on screen now. So that was actually really good advice. So we can actually get chickens that way, because currently we don't have any chickens. We have sheep, pigs, and horses. So we need cows and chickens. Chickens we can get from this still, which is good to know. That needs to stop making noise, please. Thank you. Right, so essentially what we need to do is we need to wait for one of these guys to grow up. We'll put that down, and we should probably start getting some emeralds together through the stick trading. So you're actually cheap. You don't offer sticks. Oh no, which one are you? That one. So let's do that. Oh, infinity. Do we roll the librarian now? Just to see if we can get looting, but we can't buy it if we get it. So there's a chance. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get some sticks together, some stuff to trade with. In fact, if we made one of them a farmer, we can use up the bone meal. Let's make one of them a farmer. We're gonna do that. I'm gonna jump into a time lapse, make one of them a farmer, and we're gonna do some trading using the bones from the mob farm. Thinking about the long term here, preferably we have a way to get bones much easier than having to manually collect them. If we do end up getting the iron farm, I don't know if I've told you about that yet. I'll be honest, I recorded all of the in-game gameplay and then thought I'll just go back at the end and do the commentary after. The problem with that is I don't know what I've said and what I haven't said and what I'm about to do and what I'm not about to do. So full disclosure, we may or may not be doing an iron farm at some point during this episode. But if I haven't said that yet, forget I said it until I say it, you know? Thank you. I could not turn down 2 mending books, one for 9 and one for 8. It was from one of the ones that we converted, which lowers the price of them. I could not turn that down. So when we do eventually, now we have to do more work, unfortunately, but when we do eventually get the grinding sword, which can be used for here or the piglins, we can put mending on it. Because I was thinking, how would I keep it repaired? Mending. That's actually awesome to have. Also, eventually I want a pickaxe that's like really quick for doing this, and then we can actually have multiple in a row. Once we get more iron, that will be much easier. So next step, we're running out of bone meal. So I think the next thing I want is definitely looting. Oh, I'm silly. We don't have an anvil, do we? Why didn't I think of that until now? Like the past like 3 episodes, I've been thinking about putting looting on a sword. I can't do that without an anvil. So next up is iron farm. How much iron do I need for how much redstone do I need for an iron farm? Okay, I need to find a schematic of an iron farm and also figure out how much redstone I need, because currently I used quite a bit of it to mess around. We could dismantle this if we get iron. I would be more than happy to do that. We need a place for the iron farm to sit as well. What did I just say I'm looking for? Redstone. We have 18 redstone. I don't think you can make an iron farm with 18 redstone. I know you need at least 1 piston and a timer, which we actually might have enough to make an iron farm. Where would we want it though? We would maybe put that over there instead, or over this way, have an iron farm. Oh no, I'm not sure where to put the iron farm now. Okay, let me find a YouTube video for making an iron farm and figure out the resources I need and if I'm missing any of it. So I found this design, which it says 1.20 plus. It looks like it should work even here. The main thing about it is it doesn't actually use redstone to trigger the villagers spawning the iron golem, which means it will definitely be less efficient. It just works on the basis that the game will check if there's an iron golem nearby. But considering this is Skyblock and redstone isn't too common, we could just make a very early version of a iron spawner, an iron golem spawner farm. Oh, I keep getting that wrong every episode. An iron golem farm right here. To do it here, we need to make sure that there's no spawnable blocks nearby, but we can just put it up an extra 2. And also we can move the tree farm over here where the animals are. So I think that's what I want to do. We do need more villagers. This one, you need at least 2 to begin with, and then you can chuck them some potatoes. Oh wait, no, we have, yeah, we have villagers now. Okay, that's pretty cool. So let's work on that then. That'll be a cool next project, is getting an iron farm up and going. It's one of those projects which is quite intimidating to think about, but it shouldn't take too much work for us to get this going. The only real resource it uses, other than redstone, it needs 3 hoppers. We don't have 3 hoppers, but we have at least 1. And with that, we can at least collect some and then replace it over time once we get more iron. I don't know if I want to use one that uses redstone or not. I feel like that would be so much more efficient, but maybe like just because it's early game, we just do a normal one to slowly collect the iron. I don't know. We're jumping into a replay mod of me building it once I figure out what I want to do. Turns out I wasn't quite ready to start building the iron farm. What we did first was actually take out some of the iron golems that have been spawning around the island, which is great for the initial iron. And the other thing we need is dripstone, because we need another lava source if we want to have a cobblestone generator as well as the iron farm. So to do that, we actually pillared out to our first island that we've gone to yet, which luckily is pretty obvious that it has dripstone under it. Ignore the fact that I built all of these islands, so I know there's dripstone on it, but let's pretend like I had really good eyesight and I wore my glasses and I saw there was dripstone. Once we have the iron, once we have the lava, we'll be able to use that during the iron golem grinder. I did find a design. It was a 1.20 design, but looking at it, it just works off base mechanics of the fact that villagers will look if there's an iron golem nearby, and if there isn't, they spawn one. But I also wanted to clean up the islands, so this replay mod here, I'm actually really happy with it. It's quite satisfying to watch because this replay is of an hour's worth of in-game time. I decided that I wanted to tidy some bits up, move some stuff around, and reorganize entirely. It was looking a bit messy, it wasn't looking, you know, top quality island level. So we moved everything from the right-hand side island from our point of view now, over to the left island. While I was doing that, I also realized, hey, we have more than enough gravel to put together this final bit of grass on this island. Some of the stuff that we're lacking currently is cobblestone and wood, mainly because I moved the cobblestone generator and I used quite a bit of it during this build. So we need more cobblestone. We also need a lot more wood. So my plan was that I'll plant a bunch of saplings and I'll break them as they grow and just have loads of wood very quickly. What ended up happening was something slightly different. I accidentally ignored them for way too long. One of the things that I'm really enjoying about the islands is that just with these 3 platforms, we've got so much on there. Previously, I thought that we'd need like 5 or 6 of them before we could actually make a massive difference. But I'm kind of treating this as like a single player world, which it is, solo, which it is, but not Skyblock, where I would normally upgrade stuff, level up things quite quickly, get better tools, get better armor, make the jobs later easier, rather than doing a ton of work in the early game and essentially not being as efficient as it could be if I did that during the later game. So I normally try and speed run to the late game before I actually do the bigger projects. Now, if you follow streams, I stream on Twitch, Bob the Gamer Twitch, but if you follow the streams, you'll know that I normally don't finish any late game projects. I just speed to the end game and say done and move on to a different thing that I want to do. But this is YouTube, so if I want to keep making episodes, which I do enjoy making, I kind of have to do something. So, hello, this is us doing something. With this iron farm, it's not going to be as efficient as other iron farms that use redstone, but I'm hoping with the fact that we can AFK quite comfortably without the risk of death. As long as we spawn proof everything, we're pretty safe, so the only real risk is phantoms. As long as we keep the phantoms away from our AFK location, we should be fine. There is a moment coming up which I know about because I witnessed it, and I've already watched this replay once or twice because it's actually really fun to watch. But while I was checking my phone, all of that effort we put into growing those trees may be undone. Accidentally, didn't notice, they caught on fire. By the time I did notice, I didn't really mind it because I really hate cutting down the large trees, so I thought I'll just leave them to it. We ended up having to do it anyway on the other side that did not catch fire, and I ended up putting it out because I started getting concerned about the animals. But we got 4 villagers into the iron farm. You actually need 5 for the design to work, but with you needing 5, I decided just to breed the extra one rather than moving them all again or moving one more again. And we went for a little design here under the iron farm where there's chests. You'll see it in-game. Bob will show you around the final design I went with. But I thought I'd show this time lapse here of us collecting the other side of the trees, which at the time I thought this was might be entertaining and satisfying, but watching it back myself, I'm just cutting down some trees. The idea for the main island where the iron farm is, I want to build around it where our storage can be, our organization, our crafting, our smelters. So no matter what we're doing, I'm hoping that we organically have the iron farm running without having to sit there for like hours on end, just while playing the game, doing projects that don't require any iron. We could potentially having that run organically. The other farm I want to do is, once we get 9 hoppers, I want the mob farm to do the same, just to run in the background, especially now that we can trade potatoes for emeralds. That's pretty cool. So this is the final kind of like design for the main living area. So what we have here, I've started doing some slight organization, which I never really do. So anyone who does know me from streaming will be shocked, I guess. I actually did organization. Normally someone on the SMP will get tired of my base being so unorganized and the chest monsters that I have, and then they'll just organize it for me. But that's not an option here, so I had to do it. What we got going on is we've got some organization, basic organization. We've got like the plant stuff here. We've got 23 iron total currently. This is still going. Let me just grab the iron out of this. I can hear an iron golem melting. So let's let the hopper move that in, and then boom. So we've got another 12. So I think we can actually, can we make an anvil now? We can actually make an anvil now, which is awesome. We've got the hoppers up there. We've also got the hoppers over here underneath the mob farm now, which was very expensive, but it works because now we can just come through here, grab the bones out, turn it to bone meal, and then make more potatoes, and then come over here and then make more emeralds and get all the books that we need. I think next, so we have a mending villager, which is great. I think I want to try and get some more books. With XP is not an issue, so we don't need to worry about that. One of the things I was thinking is I kind of want diamond tools sooner rather than later, so that when we do get the enchants, we don't end up with like an iron sword with some really good enchants on it. I would rather have the diamond sword with some really good enchants on it. So I need to figure out how I make a toolsmith. I've done this so many times and I can never remember. I think a toolsmith if I want the pickaxe, and a weaponsmith if I want the other one. And I think one of them is with iron. That might be the armorer. We're gonna figure this out in real time. Is this the one I'm thinking of? A smithing table? Or is that, well, I'm guessing that's the armorer because this is used within armor. Boom. What job are you? Who wants it? You. Oh, so that's the toolsmith. Okay. And then there's another one, which is the grindstone. And that might be the weaponsmith. No, who's the armorer? Okay, I'm gonna do a cut between now and once I figure this out. That didn't take long as I thought it would. It was the next one I tried. It was the grindstone, and it's this guy, weaponsmith. Oh, you've got, oh, I can get an iron axe for 2 emeralds. Or a sharpness 2 iron sword for 16 emeralds. Ooh, that's actually pretty nice. I want one of them. We can use that in the grinder. Wait a minute. Oh, I thought that was a... Oh no, that's just the normal hat. I thought that was a different texture to what it normally is. Okay, I'm just gonna borrow one of these beds then. Ignore the really tiny chat. That was because of a different thing I was doing. Right, so we can get... You're the toolsmith, but I want to level up this guy first, which is why I'm happy there's a cheap one on here. But to do that, we need more emeralds. And to do that, I don't really want to trade my wood anymore because it just takes so long to get it back. But this thing makes bones very quickly. So we can just do some potato trading. I'll probably do that as a quick time lapse of me just doing some potato trades to get some more emeralds, and we'll try and level up the weaponsmith because I think the first thing I'm wanting is a diamond sword. that I can put looting on. Looting and mending, and then we can keep it by the gold farm, and that will just increase the amount of gold we get, like a crazy amount. The thing is though, we're getting to the point where there's not too much we can do, except for building, obviously, but like we're progressing very fast through like the tech tree, if you get what I mean. Also, this world doesn't have any generation in it, unfortunately. That's not good. You see a lot of the newer Skyblock series where they eventually get an elytra and they fly away. I don't even know if there's an end in this one. I might have to look into that like off of recording at some point. And if there isn't, we might need to just accept the fact that we're doing this in a broken, old, outdated world that I'm kind of chucking together as we go. And I'll have to just put an end portal out in the middle of nowhere. But I think because this map was the same one I used a few years ago, I think eventually, once you go out far enough, I don't think it's a true void world. I think you can actually go out and find the mainland, which might be an interesting thing to do eventually, is try and find the mainland. I'm pretty sure that'll be like a ridiculous distance out, but if I chuck an end portal pearl and it doesn't take me anywhere, then that might be how we progress further. And we just accept the fact that we don't collect any resources while we're there. But that's so far away. Oh, I've been talking for like 3 minutes. Let's jump into a time lapse. In-game Bob got a little bit distracted there with rambling on about different things. But I'm here just to be straight to the point. We got potatoes. We traded potatoes. We found out we could trade melons for 1-to-1 with emeralds, which is pretty cool. One of the things that we're currently thinking about, we're being me and in-game Bob, is whether we level up the toolsmith or the weaponsmith first. But to do that, we're going to need a lot of emeralds. So one thing that I was thinking was going to the nether fortress we can see in the nether and seeing if there's a blaze spawner there. Hopefully there is. If there isn't, I don't know how we get blazes, because we'd have to try and find where a nether fortress spawns naturally and hope that a blaze spawns in that location. But I don't think we can do that. I'm not sure if there's a way to check, unless we use the weld seed and go into the nether and figure out where the fortress spawned and then go there in the void and try and get a blaze. I'm not sure, but either way, if we can get a blaze spawner or a blaze to spawn and we can get a blaze rod, we can trade for bear with the brain, it's just delivering the word, rotten flesh into emeralds. We can also trade gold, I believe. I think that's the one that accepts gold for emeralds, which wouldn't be bad if we can get a looting sword. To get a looting sword, we need lots of emeralds. You see where I'm going? So there's going to be quite a grind next episode to just get the emeralds, I think. But I want to see if there's a blaze spawner over there. I'm not sure. I don't think I ever went there last time I played this world. In fact, last time I played this world, I think I did like 30 episodes that were like 7 minutes long. They weren't real episodes. It's what I thought an episode was back in the day, because I was doing an episode a day. So some days I'd only make a 7-minute episode and it would be mostly just time lapses, I say, while we're watching a time lapse. You get my point though. So I want to go over there and see if we can get some blaze rods. That would be really cool. That would progress us much faster. I also need to think of designs where we can get haste. Not haste. You know what I mean. No, you don't, because I haven't told you yet. Where I want to get faster cobblestone generation. I don't know. Anyway, we'll try again next time. I do really appreciate you watching this one. If you did enjoy, please do drop a like, drop a comment. subscribe if you want to, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.